Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is first person tutor speaking, the voice of Bossman teaching, making abundant tangible habits with plenty of intentional notes to self. Listen to me. I have never in my life physically jumped for joy at the end of delivering a checkmate. I thought that this would never happen for me. I'm going to do two versions of this video. One where you're seeing it here, like this, and I guess the much higher resolution, higher quality video. So let me just show you this real quick. Now, so I've been searching for an opening for black that would work for me, and this seems to be the one, right? If I don't go Petrov, if I don't go Scandinavian, this will be the one that I do above all. Start with the English, well no, sorry, not English, French defense. No, I made a mistake here. I should have gone with the B7 pawn, drop it on C6, and then went with the bishop after, because that allows you to castle faster on this side. I forgot to do that. I messed up my move order for this. See? I messed up the move order. I focus on the bishop on the left instead of the one on the right. So let's see. Let's see how I did. Okay. Where was I now? Uh-huh. Oh. I blundered here. Kind of crazy. Yeah. I blundered there. That's kind of insane. Alright. You have to do the right thing here. Yeah. Tempo on the queen. Alright. Very good job. Okay. Yeah, I got a bit of tempo myself. He got out of the way. I move my rook back to the back rank and to safety. Alright. This gave me a lot of time on my hands. What am I plotting? Yes, you stopped it, but only so far. Okay, so what is actually happening now? Because see, we overlooked a blunder here, right? And this is why the move order is important, right? I should have done this from a long time ago so that that would not have been a problem, right? So from this point right here, I should have put my pawn and then my bishop, right? That's the importance of doing the move order correctly. So now by moving my knight out of the way, and that's the other thing, by trading the knights now, it leaves that pawn open, right? That's why he did the capture right here. Yeah? That right there, that was my first blunder. Blatant blunder. Right? So this is the gift and curse of bullet games, right? You tend to miss certain things. Alright, so away from all of the noise now, right? So yes, I made the mistake from here. He didn't see it. So I made sure that you wouldn't capitalize on that, yeah? So finally I castle on this side. Interesting capture. I guess the idea is that you don't want me defending the knight. Okay, so let's try this again. Now, obviously, you know, rook v rook, right? We're staring each other down, right? Oh, this was clever. So, on one hand, you know, you give up one thing for the other, right? So you're putting tempo on my queen. Cool, right? Okay, that was my response. This was clever. I was... where is it coming from? All right, it would have taken 2 moves to do the same thing. So he does it here. All right, nice, nice. Okay, so I do this. This is what I did. If my queen was there earlier, you know, could have led to some interesting discoveries, but you know, it's fine. Anyhow, this happens. I get my rook to safety, back on the back rank. Now, the bishop is looking at d8. The rook is looking at d8. So I was kind of worried about that. I was thinking about how I could get my bishop off the back rank so that I could... I mean, if I even needed to sacrifice it just to have the rooks connected, you know. But I didn't like the idea of trading the bishops and then having the rook kind of in the air all over again. You know, it would have moved from b8 to b7. You know, I never liked that idea. Anyhow, this is what I did. This is how you tried to stop it. And this is where I saw the opportunity. An opportunity that I don't think I've ever... I've never had this opportunity in any of my games. So, here we have it. You're in check. Your only choice is to go to that square. This is a double check, leading to something else. He has to go back. I wonder if you're noticing what's going to come up next. He has to capture that queen. You can't allow yourself to get checkmated. And then, of course... So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is First Person Tutor speaking, the voice of Bossman Teaching. And of course, let us dial it back a couple of plays. Right? Let's dial it back. So, there was the... Right? You're pinning my rook. Although, if I wanted to be silly, I could have sat the rook just to get a bishop, you know, if I wanted to be stylish. You know, sometimes you go for style points, right? But I chose this instead, right? Put him in check. He has nowhere to go, actually, right? The rook is still controlling that file. He has no choice but to go into the corner over there, right? So the geometry is pretty nice, yeah? I drop my rook back. I don't want my rook just being, you know, I don't want you canceling my rook like that. Don't cancel my rook, right? So he goes for the e8. Right. So you saw how I got out of that situation, right? So we had this. Hold on. He does this. This is what I do in response, right? So this is sort of a anime moment, right? That's sort of a time freeze from, you know, Dio Brando for the JoJo fans, right? The world, right? So anyhow, yeah, the queen goes there. My knight goes there. And the interesting thing is that he can't go, he cannot go to g1, right? Maybe a pawn push could have eliminated the, not necessarily the threat, but at least to kick my knight off the square. But the only problem is it leads to the fork, and you know, you're running away from that. So he wants to eliminate the fork. So what he does is, right, So yes, in one moment you get rid of the fork, but unfortunately, something else happens. So I deliver the check, right? Forcing it to come back. Then I deliver the double check, forcing you to go where you came from. Finally, well, almost finally, because of course, with the rooks being there, you have no choice. You absolutely have to capture this. It's not checkmate yet. Or in the words of Liquid chasing Solid Snake through a tunnel, it's not, sorry, not yet, Snake. It's not over yet. Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to deliver the line correctly. So, and now, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. That was the move. That was it. Yeah, my first ever. I can't remember delivering a smothered mate. I genuinely can't remember doing it. So once again, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This was first person tutor speaking, the voice of Bossman teaching, making abundant tangible habits with plenty of intentional notes to self for ELO. Now let's go and do this as quickly as possible. Yeah, yeah. I genuinely jumped for joy, like quite literally. I can't remember ever doing that. Because I feel like moments like this are so rare. Like knowing what to do and pulling it off. I mean, how many times have we seen the puzzle? We solve it, and then when we get the game, we have no idea how to convert. So when this moment arose, yeah, we had to do right by the perfect scenario. So once again, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This was first person tutor speaking, the voice of Bossman teaching, making abundant tangible habits.